Today we are talking about sibling rivalry.
Yes, sibling rivalry.
Yes, because now we don't really have sibling rivalry. But people tend to think that me and Kay's relationship is so perfect. Oh, wow. It's so awesome that sisters are working together and that you guys get along so well. Well, the majority of time we do.
We do, for the most part. But there are times that things go to the left. Push the video.
On your best behavior. On your best behavior. On your best behavior. Need you to be on your best behavior. On your best behavior. On your best behavior. Need you to be.
Hello, everyone. It is Myrrie Hayes.
It's Kay. Hi.
And Patricia.
Hi. We are here for our podcast, BOYBB. Show the folks. Be on your best behavior. We try. So, today we are talking about sibling rivalry.
Yes, sibling rivalry.
Yes, because now we don't really have sibling rivalry. But people tend to think that me and Kay's relationship is so perfect. Oh, wow. It's so awesome that sisters are working together and that you guys get along so well. Well, the majority of time we do.
We do, for the most part. But there are times that things go to the left. Yeah, so.
Yeah, basically. So just to give some background, if you don't know and you've never watched this podcast, well, first of all, I want to say, because Kay always say that I forget, please subscribe to our channel. Hit the little button so you can get an alert when we have a new podcast, and make sure that you share, and we would appreciate it. So anyway, back to the service announcement. Now,
Sibling rivalry.
So, me and Kay grew up in a family with 14 children. Kay is number 13. I am number 14. And so, yeah, it was a lot of us. And so, we really didn't like each other when we were younger.
No. Yes. And she's true. Because I was the baby for 4 years, almost 4 years. And then she came along.
Yeah. So I took all the attention. No, I'm
she
kidding.
thought she did.
No, she always has had the attention. So Kay is basically the baby in everyone's eyes, even my eyes. We treat her like the baby. So anyway, as we grew up, we didn't really like each other because we just had different lives. But then once we got older, for some reason, we started to like each other.
Maybe it was the maturity.
I think it's because we was fighting battles against the other people in our family. No,
we was fighting battles with the older siblings.
Right, we had to get an ally.
Yeah.
So anyway, as we grew and as we got into business together, the relationship has been pretty good. But there are some, as in any relationship, there are some ups and downs.
When I think about it, I think about when we started really connecting was when we went to school. And you were going to school in the day, and I was going to school at night.
We were in college.
Yeah. So I think that's when we really started bonding. And people used to think we were the same people. I mean,
because we had the same kind of glasses. We wore our hair the same at that time. And so people would see me and they would be like, hey, and they would be talking to me and I'm like, who are you? But they thought I was her. So we used to look a lot alike.
Yeah.
But so we brought Patricia on just so we can have a third party kind of tell. Patricia's been with us. She's our employee. She's been with us the longest. She's
our
been with
office
us
manager.
almost 6 years. So
Yeah.
she's our office manager. She's our director of human resources. So we're just going to have Patricia, or I'm going to ask Patricia, is there ever a time, you know, since you've worked for us, that you were worried or that you saw the wrath of Myrrie and Kay against each other? And if you have, tell us about that time.
Okay. Has there been a moment? Yeah. So there was one moment in particular. Came to work, minding my own business. These two come in, obviously already having a moment of their own. And when we talk about sibling rivalry, we all expect it. The drama, the yelling, the screaming, whatever their issue was, it was obviously to do with money and finances. And no real name calling, but, they were yelling at each other and just give me a number because we're done. And so they come into the office and they're having this screaming match as they're coming through the door. And they're willing to just call it quits between the two of them. And they're walking through my office, going to their office. Obviously not happy with each other. And they're just yelling back and forth, throwing digs at each other about, I'm going to do this. No, I'm going to do that. And we're just going to be done. They go to their respective offices, slamming doors. All goes quiet till I start getting texts from one and the other. I thought, okay. So it just became a very tense situation. It did eventually quiet down. As other staff members came into the office, it was, you might want to just find elsewhere to be for the afternoon, or perhaps any business that you have, you may want to just take it for another afternoon. So it eventually quieted down and they made peace with each other. But yeah, it was quite distressing and no one knew exactly what to do. So we just thought, let's just give them a minute. And they'll eventually work it out, and that's how we handled the rest of the afternoon. Just let them simmer for a minute, and we left it.
You see how she said afternoon? Mm-hmm. Because did it go past that day? Did it move any further? Did you hear any more fighting?
No.
So our relationship is not perfect, but this is about money, y'all.
Yeah.
So that's one thing with me and Kay. We are business women. We have our moments. We get upset, you know, and I know a lot of people are like, you know, how can you work with family? Because it's business. We keep it business, you know? So even though this is my big sister and I try to respect her, and, you know, our thing is, we're too old to be fist fighting. You know what I mean? I watched this whole family fight at Disneyland, and I could not believe it because, you know, that is I guess kind of like a boundary we set growing up.
Yeah,
like
it is.
You don't hit each other.
Yeah.
You know,
the one thing I think too with me is because I am the older sister, and I'm the more. Where I was the more boisterous and more verbal, and Myrrie would just like be quiet to keep peace. Well, she started coming out of that, and I didn't know how to react to that. So by her coming out of that, I'm trying to push it against it, like what's going on, because she usually just be the one that keeps silent. But
I go with the flow.
Yeah, she goes with the flow. But no, in the last like year or so, 2 years, she's become the more boisterous. It's almost like right now we're kind of flipping the script. And so that was the thing that was going on, is that I didn't know how to react to that. So I had to figure out how to work with her being more boisterous and me kind of stepping back to the side and letting her make decisions and me not making all this decisions, because it's almost like this was a relationship, like a marriage relationship, and there's always a lead, and the lead person always want to make all the decisions, and then you just go in the person, like a husband and wife. I'm the husband, I'm gonna make these decisions. You wife, come on, we gonna do it. So then the wife starts speaking up, and I don't know how to react to it. Yeah, so in any relationship, there's always a lead, and then but we try to be 50-50. That's how we're trying to be, like in our last couple of years, we're trying to be 50-50. And sometimes I'll just be quiet now and let her lead. So when she make a mistake, I can say, nanny, I told you so.
Right.
No. Yeah, so that's basically me coming into my truth. That's what it was. I didn't know how to react to her, being more boisterous than she usually was normally.
Yeah, and you have to understand that in relationships and also in business, it's kind of like we've said before, there's seasons for everything. So yes, I was always the one that kind of sat on the back burner and went with the flow with Kay. And then there was something that pivotal that happened in our lives. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. I have to speak my mind. I have to, because my thing is, she's my sister. I know she loves me. And I know whatever she does, whatever decision she made, she was doing it for our good. So I understand that. And I trust her, So when I did have an opinion, I would just say, okay, well, this is my opinion. I'll do whatever, you want to do. This is my opinion. And I would give it like that. And I never really gave pushback. But then it came to a point in time where it's like, okay, this is my opinion and we need to go with my opinion,
Yeah. So she pushed back and then I pushed back. Right. And she pushed back and I pushed back.
Right. But we always, not to say we keep it professional, because that might not have been professional, because, we didn't cuss each other out or nothing like that. It just got kind of heated.
Yeah, we was yelling at the top of our voices. Believe me, I remember that one.
I think the people all around us heard us.
But one thing about it shows people too, it's business, because even though we had that big blowout and argument, we still had to take care business care.
Yes.
Yeah, we still had to keep functioning. So I'm still talking to her. I'm not not talking to her. I might not go hang out with her after work or whatever like that. But
we might not do lunch together.
Yeah. But when we're in the office, it's business. And that's what I try to portray to people. When we're in the office, be about your business. We're all, and I always relay that, we're professionals. If we're claiming to be professionals, you should be able to work with anybody. Mm-hmm. Work with them. You ain't got to go spend after hours with the person or whatever, or see them after. But when you have a job to do, get that job done.
Right. And us as believers, the Bible tells us to live peaceably with all men. Mm-hmm. So you are supposed to be trying to live in peace. I'm not saying be somebody's doormat or something like that. But like I said, because this is my sister, I know she cares for me. I know when she makes decisions, she's looking out not just for me, but we have right now about 34 employees. She's looking out for them. I'm looking out for them. Patricia's looking out for them. We're looking out for each other. So, that's kind of what, when it was all said and done, after we had said, oh, we selling this business and we taking our money and we running, we separating, we gonna do our own thing. When we thought about all the ramifications, it's like, it ain't even about us.
Yeah, it's big.
Get over it. Yeah, get over what you're going through. We talking about changing family trees.
Yeah.
You can't change a tree if it's split down the middle. So
you can kill it though.
Yeah, true. And you can use it as firewood and set some fires. But hey, sibling rivalry. Yes, we have it. yes, we've dealt with, because people always be like, man, y'all just be flowing. So, yeah, most of the time we do. But then sometimes we don't,
And I think also, too, growing up in a large family like that where you had to share builds bonds, too.
Yeah.
We've never, even with our other siblings, we've never got into an argument and then stopped speaking to each other.
Yeah.
We've never done that.
It might last a day, but I mean, the next time you see each other or, within a week's time or whatever, we weren't taught to hold those type of, because I know some people who haven't talked to their family member in 10, 15 years. That's just not how we were raised. Even in our business relationships, dealing with people, there's people in Arizona that have outright did us wrong.
Yep.
But guess what? If they walk in the office today, I'm still going to show that person the same respect as I showed them before they did me wrong. You know why? Because I didn't do anything.
Yeah. I
live my life, and I feel like we all live our lives trying to do right by other people.
Yep.
So I have nothing to hold a grudge about. You the one that did me wrong,
Yeah. So there are people that came in our path, and like she said, and did us wrong, and we still communicate with them. But the thing is, you learn how to deal with that person. There's a person that got $3,500 out of me when I first moved here, and I still communicate with that person, but I know not to
trust that person with money.
Yeah. So you learn how to deal with people.
Yeah.
But if it's a business, because this person was a good salesperson, and they knew their craft, but they just was not good with money, and they was not good with integrity. So, I mean, there was times I would call and ask them a question about something, some information I wanted to know, and they, and we would talk, but I wouldn't trust them with money. And if I referred them to people, I would tell the person, you can ask this person information, but I wouldn't give them money. And what information you're getting from them, if they need money, don't give it to them until you get the information from them.
Right.
Yeah,
so the same way you know how to deal with people, outside of your family, when you do business with family, when you go into business with family, you have to set boundaries, and you have to just give each other that respect. And I feel like any family member, unless it's like a family member that tried to kill you or something like that, I feel like that you can have a prosperous business relationship. So basically, we just wanted to come on here because, Kay just did an event in Chicago. It was awesome.
It was awesome, yes.
And a lot of the people there, that's one thing they said, oh my God, how do you two sisters, keep it going and things like that. So we thought we would just talk about it. Our relationship, it's not perfect. No relationship is. But we set boundaries, and we respect one another, and we know it's not just about us.
Yeah. And another thing too, sometimes when you have family do things for you, you forget to say thank you. And I try to put it in the forefront of my mind to say thank you. You did not know when we got on the elevator. I was like, I was really appreciative. My husband was there, Myrrie was there, and her husband was there. And I was like, man, I have an awesome team. Thank you guys. And I showed them that I appreciate them being there helping me out.
Show appreciation. It goes a long way.
It do.
So like I said, we just wanted to come on here and share that today. Remember, subscribe to our channel. We had a lot of views on our last show, but we want you to subscribe. And please share our video. If you know someone who's dealing with something in their business with a sibling or anything like that, just share them, share it with them so they can know that, hey, it's nobody's perfect, but we try.
And keep moving forward.
Yes. Okay. That's always our motto. So, this is Myrrie.
And this is Kay.
And Patricia.
And we are here for BOYBB, be on your best behavior. And as I always say, Be a blessing to someone else. Bye.
Bye.